If you look at the teachings that I'm giving people and even the embodiment I chose for this life, I'm jarring what people expect.
This idea of punishment with regards to karma is a very old concept. It's an outdated concept.
It's offensive. My entire embodiment is essentially an attack.
Most of the stuff you will hear in this field is complete and total bullshit. It is spiritual Novocaine. Fuck the law of attraction.
Spiritual information should not be coming through someone that age, and certainly not one that looks that way. Even if I wasn't talking, just my embodiment is not something which is going to be in my favor for that.
I am not somebody who came into this world in order to follow the current paradigms that exist. I came in here as a game changer. When you come in as a game changer, then what you're doing is coming up against the systems that currently exist. That means that anybody who's a part of those systems, anyone who believes in those things or who is taught those things, now suddenly is being invalidated by you. So they have an option. Either they admit that they were wrong, that their entire way of doing it was misguided, that they spent their life in vain, pretty much, and that their life is not valid. Or they hate me.
What she is doing, it cannot be allowed. People should not listen to her or follow any of her advice.
If you're following Teal Swan, stop it.
She is deceptive and she is a fake.
Good morning from New York City. It's a very exciting day. Our taxi arrived.
Yeah! Women!
It's exciting because today we are going to see Teal Swan.
Hi.
It's so good to see you in real life.
I exist.
I know! It's so great. Hello.
Hey.
Love you guys.
Yeah, alright. Love you, thank you.
Your little PC head chopped out.
What is chopped out? My head? Wait.
I'll just...
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't get excited to meet rock stars or movie stars or anyone actually. This is my, let's say, rock star, if you will.
Hello.
You're real.
Yes, I am.
I'm nervous. Me too.
This is very, very surreal for me.
Hello.
You're real.
Yes, I am.
You're really human.
We're here? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Welcome everybody, welcome back.
I saw where these people are incriminating you, right?
Yes.
And I definitely have a burn at the stake thing going on where I'm like, fuck, I don't ever want to be in that position. And I watch her, I'm like, yeah, dude, she's addressing it, she's showing up to it.
I don't understand your struggle. Do you want me to make it less painful for you?
No, I just want you to tell me that it's worth it.
I don't know. It depends what day you catch me on.
I know, it's the problem.
People assume that I'm getting showered with positive praise all the time. People are like, oh my god, your head must be so swollen. It actually is not. Like, the majority of the people who speak the loudest are the ones that hate you the most. Like, you may have a lot of people who just love you to death, but they're silent. I don't really feel like there's going to be a day where you're going to be solid in the truth that going in front of the public eye is always a great idea. The day that you lose your 400th relationship because of it, I can tell you you're not going to tell yourself that story. The day that you get a standing ovation, you're going to tell yourself that story.
Teal Swan Scott.
You get stopped a lot saying, hey, Teal Swan. Yeah. How's that?
I enjoy it. I actually really love being stopped by people still.
You haven't here a lot?
Not on this trip yet, actually. Ironically, it usually happens a lot in New York, but not on this trip yet. But I haven't really I've been hiding, truthfully, in my apartment because I have such a hard time with the overstimulation of New York that I kind of tried to go somewhere the other day and made it about 2 feet before I ran to Central Park and was like,
Yeah. being extrasensory, you walk the street, sometimes somebody might pass you and you hear their thoughts, or it's
the
just...
way to understand how it is for me as an extrasensory is almost like you're downloading an entire megabyte from a computer. So you've got, it's literally just of all this information, life path potentials, what they're going through currently, thoughts that are currently going on in their head, emotions that are stuck in the water field, all at once.
Oh my god.
It's like I could write a book on each person.
Can you kind of stand up at the back there and wave?
I'd like to ask for a general reading. If there's any information you would like to share with me that I would need to know. Can I sit down?
You need to get more support in your life. You're developed actually in your, you've got like the C spine, and then you've got your like lower vertebrae, and in the middle you've got this lumbar spine, and your lumbar spine is actually getting really, really weak, which is a pattern that we see with people who don't let themselves be supported enough by other people. So if I were in your position, I'd start asking for things from friends. Anything else? I could literally write a book on every person. So, it's almost like I'm just trying to pick out the stuff that might catalyze you the most. You're in a pattern of inauthenticity. Inauthenticity is essentially when you're living from a space where you feel like you have to present a certain image or a certain persona in order for people to be attracted to you in the first place.
That's totally true.
How do you cope with that?
Being extrasensory?
Yes.
Let's see. I sleep with a mouth guard. I have to carry a blankie around. I can't be taken into certain places. I can't eat certain foods, and I have to surround myself with a very specific group of people.
It's Latin. Means know thyself.
Who am I? I've heard this question many times before in books, movies, whatever else, but I never really asked it myself. In 2012, I've had a very deep meditative experience that made me realize that I'm not only my thoughts. And that immediately made me ask in the most intense way, if I'm not my thoughts, then what the hell am I?
What did you say?
I said I don't know who I am.
I guess the meditative state that I was in allowed me to receive an answer, and that answer was so profound, it changed my freaking life. I wanted to never forget that answer I received, so I tattooed it on my arm. I am nothing. Life is everything. I am life. The sentence itself doesn't make any sense, but it's a pointer to that truth. I had to ask Teal about this.
I had a, let's say, glimpse of enlightenment, or like a satori they call it, where I felt everything. I felt oneness, and I felt also the no oneness, the emptiness and the wholeness. While experiencing it, I realized that all my desires and all what I want to be, it's pointless to even desire it, because I already had it in that place, in that
Yes.
I already have everything. So in that moment I realized that I shouldn't stay there, because there's no point to life. There's no point to anything if I'm already there all the time.
Actually, that just means you didn't go far enough.
Why?
So what you had, you glimpsed the mind of God, yes?
Mm-hmm.
But what you glimpsed is the actuality, not the choice point. There's a step right beyond where you went, and that's the choice point, where Source says, wait, I already am everything that I ever wanted,
Right.
so what's the point?
Right. What is the point?
What time is it, by the way? I don't even know. Did I go over and past lunch? Oh. Sorry. Okay, I guess it's lunchtime.
I don't know, everything she said was just like, holy shit, this is like...
Yeah. Where was this before?
Yeah. I was watching one of her videos because I've been having like really intense like hip and lower back stuff. I think it's because I've been sleeping on a pull-out couch for like over a year. But I think there's also some like emotional story there, and her one of the videos I was watching was like how to communicate with like pain, how to communicate with like disease or like chronic illness or something.
It is sad to me when people say, I don't know what's going on with this aspect of my body, because it's your consciousness. So what you're going to be doing is learning to channel your own body or pain or XYZ or whatever it is.
And like you take it out and like let this disease or like let this pain have its own, have its like own identity. So it's like no longer a part of you. It's like its own like universe.
Yeah.
And like have a conversation with it. And this like blew my fucking mind. I was like taking all these like parts of me and I was like, and so like this is what I've been doing the past few months.
All self-worth issues stem from one thought: I am not enough. Like any addiction, porn serves as an escape from pain. If you identify as somebody who likes your alone time and needs a lot of space, it means that you're struggling with inauthenticity. Being in the flow is one of those catchphrases that you hear floating around society, but most people have no idea what the hell that means or how to be in the flow. Today, I'm going to clear that up for you completely.
It was probably some like Saturday night and I'm like watching Teal Swan and like taking notes on her videos because I was like, this is like, I don't know, I just felt like all the answers were like being revealed.
What I'm going to play out to begin with is two different parts. The first is the aspect of you that does not feel capable of walking out this door after this workshop or doesn't want to go. And the part that feels like, I can do this, it's fine. Sound good?
Anything that's going to make us move, I'll do it.
Okay, then we need to figure out what you're getting out of this experience that you're afraid is not going to happen once you leave those doors.
And while this was going on, this guy that no one knows decides to jump in. But not to continue the workshop. He had something else in mind.
Who are you?
Now, at this point, everyone is still thinking that this is somehow part of the workshop.
I got here was a safe place to be who I am.
No one was suspecting what's gonna happen next.
One little step at a time, please. And connection and friendship and realness. And I'm afraid that that's not out in the real world.
It turns out that this guy is a fan that decided to declare his love for Teal right here in front of everyone in the middle of the workshop. The most amazing part in all of this is how Teal dealt with it. Instead of calling the security and kicking this guy out, she turns the whole situation into a part of the workshop.
Stop where you are. Watch what's happening here, you guys.
This is yours.
Thank you.
Part of my journey to stay with you. And this coming from Mount Shasta, long time ago.
Watch this video. This is telling you something about yourself. What does this mean to you about your own vibration? Do you think you matter? Thank you. Thank you. Can I reflect something to you? Can I reflect something to you? You made every person here feel like they don't matter. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. This makes me feel like I matter. Thank you. Can you listen to me? Can you acknowledge that you're making everyone feel like they don't matter? Why are you doing that?
Because I love you.
But that hurts me. You can't say you love me without taking me as part of you, and I'm a person who is hurt by that. So play a game with me. If you love me, And take me as part of yourself? How do you make them feel important? Them. How do you make them feel important?
Because we are one.
Yes, but what about them? They're a part of you as well. So make them feel like it. If you love me like you say, make them feel important. This is not making people feel important. Do you understand that? I understand your gesture. I've been a few places with a few people who really aren't so favorable about me, but none of them have come up and like done anything outside of my workshops yet. So this is your opportunity. Tell them what you want.
I just want to be away from you for a minute.
Okay.
I still love you, but I just got scared there because I was trying to move forward and you kind of forced me. And that's what I'm afraid of in life, you know?
I'm mostly confused by you. Can you be clear about what you just did and why?
Right here, right now.
Why did you just do that?
Flowing. Flowing
What does that mean?
in my journey. Walking my journey.
So you felt like you were in the flow?
If something is unsafe, what the fuck are you doing right now? Staying there. Are you kidding me? This is a wake-up moment. Like a serious wake-up moment. Look at yourselves. This thing is unfucking safe. And so I'm staying here. No wonder you don't want to leave this fucking room.
It's almost like it's what I'm used to.
I know. So break the fucking pattern today.
I just learned that it can be just as scary no matter where you are if you don't have boundaries.
Yes. Hopefully what I have shown you over the course of the last few days, and especially right now, is that anything that occurs in reality can be used as a mirror. You didn't get what the hell that had to do with you, did it, until I spelled it out. But when you start to take this way of looking at the world, that every single thing that comes into your experience is an exact reflection of something within you, you will no longer need a spiritual teacher. You will literally be able to interpret everything that occurs as if it is the teaching. And that's when life gets magic.
Being extrasensory, it doesn't help you to know this kind of stuff.
No, sometimes it does. I didn't pick it up on that plan, but I pick it up a lot.
And this is a mission that you chose before coming here, right? To be in that.
Yes.
You're like this, like almost like I shouldn't have done this.
Well, we all know that the idea of something is quite different than the actuality of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Knowing what you know now, would you choose it again?
There is a voice in my head when my relationships start going south. That's when it does it. When I'm like, I shouldn't be teaching this. If my relationship failed and I didn't think, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be teaching relationships, I would be quite dangerous. But you can still feel the undercurrent that says, it doesn't matter whether I want to be doing this line of work or not, I can't not do it. This is literally what I eat, sleep, and breathe. I have a lifestyle that most people could not maintain because it is so incredibly dedicated and difficult. I'm like a monk or a nun. My life is this work. I do so much of it, it drives people crazy. I am breathing meditation. I am living out of body work. I am constantly doing shadow work. I am going inside to figure out all of these answers. I'm trying to learn from the world 24 hours a day. That's what I'm doing when you're shopping, when you're working. That's what I'm doing when you're playing sports, watching TV. I have the same goal that every other spiritual teacher has ever had since the beginning of time: find an answer to suffering and teach it. I literally don't care if I accomplish it in this lifetime or not. I'm going to spend my life dedicated to it. It's a lot to do, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to die trying, because there's nothing else to do for me. This is my passion.